Yeah, I've been waiting for Atari to get into the game before we started.
That's my bad. I totally forgot I hadn't logged in.
Right, I'm bringing our voices.
Oh
in
shit! It's the game we're playing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're already live on my
I'm just
side.
reading the BBC News updates on the train derailment. I thought I'd logged in before I started.
Fair enough.
No. Yeah. If you want, Mikey, you can ask me later today or tomorrow. I'll get you some. I'll get you some like decent fans that I trust, and you can work from there if that's what you want.
Well, we'll see. I will probably just get like a Cooler Master or something, because that's usually the ones that I see people use. I'll get a nice Cooler Master.
I don't remember what I've got. I got the one that's like the tan, the one that all their stuff's
They're
in
good.
tan.
They're good.
I forget the name of the brand though.
The only thing is though, I'd have to disassemble my computer and take the motherboard out to take off the backplate and put new.
I am missing Ustinia from my selectable characters.
Oh right, hold on. I gotta because I had to give it to Midge so he could play you. Let me clear the owner.
Because last week Midge had a great time running right.
Down try.
I mean, I could play Demir and be like the
Demir shows up. He's a level 5.
Enclosed cavalry arriving.
No, he's level 6 actually. No, and I remember he started at level 5, but
Yes.
you guys leveled up midway adventure, so he got a level up as too.
Yes.
And then the winged Uteshians arrived.
I would love. Can you imagine like this level 6, David turning up now, just like, oh, I'm not ready for this, brother. Like,
like, bruh.
He died. He died in one of your other adventures. No, your other in a fight he was leveled for.
He got lightning bolted.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it's a hag fight. He died with those children.
Yeah. No, it's just his ghost.
Yeah.
At this point. That's
And the reason that I can tell my
now,
CPU
like-
is hot, I put my hand on the backplate of my GPU. It's hot to the touch, because that's where all the hot air is going.
Well, it should be hot to the touch.
You should probably check your intake and outtake for the fans. Cause...
I did, and they were fine.
Okay. So I'm saying, are they? You've definitely got a flow of in and out.
Oh yeah, I've got a flow from the. I've got a flow. I got a fan at the front.
What
and
case
fans
are
back.
you using?
It's the N60H510i, so it's the mid-tower case, but it doesn't have a mesh front. Is the problem.
Oh, it's the one that I gave. It's got the nice, like it's the flat front. With
Yeah,
the faux,
it's the full aluminium case with like a.
That's fine then, because I've got the same setup. My intake's on the front, and I don't have a problem. My
I think it's just
exhaust is in the back.
I think it's just something going on here. I want to upgrade anyway. So. Air cooler for the CPU.
You've got a lot of shit inside that case that is pumping out a lot of BTUs of heat, and it might. And I know. And the thing is that case's stock fans are not great. So I'd probably replace. I'd probably get 4 new fans and just pop them in like as dedicated exhaust and intakes, and that way you've got a nice flow through the case because it needs a lot of air. If you rejoin Utari, you should see Ustenia.
I'll probably think about getting a bundle of fans as well, because I think you can get like 3 fans for dirt cheap. You can get like a box of 3 fans.
Well, don't go dirt cheap. Just get something that's reliable.
Yeah, go and get
a $20 fan's better than 3 fans for $20.
Go and get yourself 3 Corsair fans. Spend a little bit extra money on them because they're worth it.
A little extra. All right, we're all here now.
Which?
We're not on the map. They finished the fight.
We Master Chief did finally.
Covenant's been beaten.
Oh, something you need to know right now, though. You killed someone who died in the fight you thought was your friend because you had this spell friends cast on you.
The bard.
So apparently, you're pining over a dead bard. But
you thought it was Arwen who appeared from a tent, and we're like, oh, what?
What are you doing here?
It was one of the only ways they could stop you from murdering everyone, and it didn't really stop you. Even unraged, you decapitated people.
Wow.
You needed to murder everybody.
So I did good.
It was. I mean, Sesh went down. I think. There's a couple of lightning bolts cast.
Yep.
Chain lightning cast.
Yep.
I watched a bit of it. I snuck in to watch a bit of it, but
it wasn't great. Let's be honest here. That could have been handled better.
There was a lot of pain involved. Like there was a lot of pain involved.
There's a lot of that. Handled better on both sides because they could have done some other shit too. But yeah, you you find yourselves, you have found the lockbox that contained all of the coins. We ended off last episode with you finding that after completing the fight, a single individual, the spy, the rogue of their party, sneaking off and getting away, because Sesh did not report to the rest of the party that that she spotted him having snuck past you. And yeah, you have opened the door to heaven, apparently, according to Midge's camera.
Oh,
Oh my god!
well, very in
that is-
character.
Yeah.
God, put your dick away.
Interesting.
Bam! It
Damn
stopped.
it.
Please.
So we pick back up with you having found the lockbox, having found it is a heavy piece of gear that would not fit just due to weight restrictions in your bag of holding. And you are now presented with you've got to get back. You have been tasked with retrieving and returning these coins, this month's pay for an army.
Now, if I remember correctly, you only have to get it as far as that other city, and they might have a telecommunications mage, and then they can do a wire bank transfer thing.
Yeah, you even said that's a possibility. Yeah.
So I think we should try and do that, because no way are we going to be able to carry all of this shit.
By
for
the
that.
way, Roach, would you say I've had enough time to do a short rest?
I'll say short rest is what? 30
30.
minutes. 30 minutes.
Hour.
Hour.
Relevant
Let's-
meme is relevant.
Let's see if let's see what everybody else wants to do first, because right now it's just after the end of the fight, and you found it. Now you're kind of working out what you're gonna do. So you were in an empty, old, decrepit burial chamber. You have your item, plus a whole bunch of other things, random goods that have been taken, just extra shoes, various other bits and pieces that were in those wagons they stole. And now you have to get back somehow. What is your plan? What are you all planning on doing?
How long did it take us to get down here again?
Better part of it's
Took us a few hours, didn't it?
actually, hold on. Have you I need to get the damn calendar open. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean it took a bit. I just gotta find it here.
Rivallon casts like 2 pass without traces, so it's like 2 hours at least.
2 hours.
At least
2 hours at sneak speed, then. Cut. Or stealthily speed.
No, because it just gives you a plus 10 to your stealth check, that's all.
Yeah.
Doesn't slow you down.
We'll say
True.
we'll say it's we'll say it took you about 3.5 hours from when you arrived at the site of the attack to
Right,
where
all the way back there. Fun.
yeah to here. So it took you probably close. So it's if your internal clocks are correct, it's maybe an hour or two before noon right now.
That's not too bad.
No.
Would you
Okay.
say did you say whether or not we had time for a short rest?
It depends on what you all plan on doing. You have,
Says she's going to stand at the doorway. Well, actually, no. Sorry, I'm lying. She's going to gather up the bodies and bring them outside and burn them. Aside from the
So why
evoker.
stand guard at the doorway? You just let people go.
You don't know
Nah.
that. Anyway, yeah, she's going to gather up the bodies, bring them outside, burn the ones that aren't the evoker. She's going to come back inside then and look at the evoker.
The evoker's pretty burnt already.
Yeah, he's already crispy, you know? Not
yeah,
much
we
work.
also found out that because Midge critted on a firebolt, absolutely,
cantrip.
yeah, absolutely. You did 20 damage with that cantrip.
26 damage with that cantrip.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That shit hurted.
The Invoker's spellbook was burnt to a crisp, so Mog was unable to retrieve it for purposes of copying the spells.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
My success is everyone else's failure, apparently.
Exactly. Yeah. It was my failure.
That's very on brand with this party.
Yeah. True. 100%.
It's very on brand. But yeah, okay. So you what is the rest? Session's doing that. What's everybody else doing?
Does anybody have anything that will help us carry 300 pounds of gold?
Nope.
Do we have any pulleys, rope?
Just get the image of you throwing a pulley at the box. Just going, it's not helping.
I mean, if I took off all of my stuff, I could carry 270 of it.
Sesh raises his
my
hand and goes, "I have something. Let me finish this."
Well, I was...
Rivallon's hunting for the rogue that was around somewhere because he doesn't trust that it's not there anymore.
All right, make a
He's
perception
going to
check.
keep doing it
chamber.
until someone tells him differently.
She's
All right.
not going to
We'll
tell
say,
you. You might as well stop asking.
We'll say give me a perception check with advantage for the hour or so, for an hour's worth of time spent doing this.
Pathetic.
It's a good thing it was advantage though, because you. But you did pass the DC that I'd set in my head. After an hour's worth of time going through and picking across this and using your own knowledge of stealthy actions, stealthy movement, and hiding, and all that kind of stuff from your years of experience, there ain't no one in here. They're gone. They must have got out somehow.
Which means we might have a problem.
You don't find any tracks or anything. You don't know that. You just know they're not here.
Oh, was that for the sending stone?
No, I'm just trying to get the dice table to show up on my stream.
Never mind then.
Because it doesn't show up until I interact with it.
That would have been great though if it was for the sending stone.
I mean, if it's I haven't rolled today's sending stone, so
There you go, that's it.
and we haven't used it for the last 4 days, so it's already full.
Yeah, but still though, we like seeing big numbers.
But yeah, you yeah, that's what you get from their rivals. So, Sesh said you had something.
I have the ability to cast Enhanced Ability, in which there's a section called Bull Strength. The target has advantage on strength checks, and his or her carrying capacity doubles.
For how long?
An hour, and I can cast it 3 more times.
Because I'm just thinking, maybe we can carry it between us for now, but there is a chasm with a bridge.
I can carry it just fine if he does this. If you double my carrying capacity, I am well within.
That's like 400 or something like that.
I'm 270 now.
270. So yeah, 540.
270.
540. And
I've got 2 polymorphs as well for the bridge.
Yeah.
So
you can just turn yourself into something. A
Giant spider.
something. Yeah, giant spider. Job done. Hey, you can carry it across there.
I'll throw myself off the bridge quite happily, thanks.
Again.
It's too late. You already did that.
Yep.
Yeah,
For
I
the
know.
second
He
time.
turns into a giant spider, I will quite happily throw myself off there again. Only this
For the
time I'll
second
make sure I'm
time.
doing a head-first dive.
For the
Still
second
don't kill
time,
you.
Rivallon gets his spine readjusted.
No, it'll be my head. You know that
Little
how
compression.
That bard has got his head exploded and his team's been trying to force the brains back in and things like that. The only way you're going to bring me back is by doing the same, because I will go head first if I'm told I have to crawl on the back of a giant spider.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know that would Usteni, you would be able to carry that if you had enhanced ability cast on you. You also know between Sesh and Usteni together, you would be able to carry it as a 2-person team without any spells cast, just like doing some tests. You wouldn't be the most dexterous trying to cross that bridge, that would be very difficult for you to do. But a two-person team, but it's sturdy. The thing is, the bridge is sturdy enough to carry the weight. It's just not stable. Like it needs to be. You need to be carefully crossing it.
The person with
it's
the
not going to
best
snap,
decks-
but it will tumble.
The person with the best decks in the team had a little fumble off of that until Isaac went, "Oh, you know what? I'll just cast a polymorph and fly everyone across."
He had to be cajoled into casting polymorph.
I mean, you
To
were
be fair,
already
though, you-
halfway across the bridge when you said, we were all like, oh, okay, well, how are we going to get across? Are we going to do that? You said, I'm already halfway across, and that's when you rolled the dex check. Like, you didn't exactly give us time.
Well, what's the point sitting around waiting? I was getting bored. All the conversations.
Well, you only
you
have
held
yourself
down
to
against-
blame.
So,
I have
your
a
spine
seriously,
was like,
seriously bad roll
ow.
to blame.
yeah. So,
Also, by
What
the
do
way,
y'all wanna do?
The reason I
Mog?
didn't burn the evoker is because do we want to talk to him? Because I still have an ability. I can still cast.
No, I
Super
don't see the point. He's just
No?
a bandit with power.
Don't want to know about anything. We're good. Don't want to know
No.
how they managed to catch these people off guard or anything like that. If they had any help, maybe.
We think they just got lucky, is the we got that
But
from
how
our
do we know
investigation.
they got lucky?
you
From
did a
the
pretty good
investigation.
investigation. Half these people don't have shoes.
Fair. All right. Okay.
Yeah, half people don't have shoes. They're eating like roasted mushroom bits and horse meat that from the horses they captured. Like, they're not doing great.
Mog's
Just
going
a
to
preliminary.
go through the forest again and look for the traps and
Okay,
mark them.
Okay, and that's not hard. You know where they are. They're just once you know where they are, they're not hard. They're not. It doesn't look like they were made to deal with.
But the two people carrying the case are the two people who cannot see in the dark.
Yeah. It doesn't look like they were made to deal with sentient things.
Okay.
They're like they're not meant for hunting because they have poison tips on the spikes, but it's like these are defensive for something in the forest. That's what you get when you go out there and kind of look over them again, because they're not really well hidden. They're just kind of, you think like a bear would have trouble knowing this was here, kind of
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, you mark them. You like. Also, you get some mushroom sticks, and kind of sharpen them, kind of put them into the ground to kind of give you like a little like 4-corner mark of
Yeah.
every trap, because it's just a deadfall trap. So yeah, you do that easily enough. And yeah, I'll say if you want to, you can go ahead and spend an hour just resting, giving yourself all
Yes, please.
a short rest, which means you can pick the number of hit points you have. Pick a number of hit points, roll them, and that's how many HP you get back. Hit
Not
dice.
bothered by hit points. Want my spells back.
Well, you don't.
She
You don't
does. She's
reroll
I'm a
warlock.
warlock.
Oh yeah.
Then-
Oh
then
yeah, you
there
get
is-
one back, don't you?
No, I
No,
get
she
two.
gets both.
Both.
She gets both. It's
Oh.
all her spell slots. That's the bonus of a warlock. They only get 2 spell slots, but they get them back on short rests.
Oh, okay.
It's like
'Cause
spells.
I know
give
wizards
them,
can do
give.
like a arcane
Wizard-
recovery.
Yeah, they can do arcane recovery to get like. There's a calculation for it. It's the same with like fighters getting
Action
their like
surge?
action surge and stuff back.
But yeah, you take a short rest. Anybody who wants to heal can pick the number of hit dice up to their maximum.
I can't remember
Whoa,
what hit dice I
I've
have.
used my
Something
natural
insane.
ability to give me 9 hit points because I've got 9 sorcerer levels, and
so you've
I've
got
got
9
9 wounds right now, so
Here you go. Yeah.
full health.
Right.
Down the bottom. HD.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Life giver. Boy.
Yeah, Mog probably wants to spend some time healing. You can spend up to 9 of those dice, because you have 9 hit dice.
So it's
Yeah.
9d8.
If you want to use all of them, you don't have
I'm not.
to.
It's pointless using all of them, but I can.
I'll say 2d8.
Yeah, I say 2d8.
Doesn't it just click on it? No, it's death save.
By the way, Mikey,
There you go.
oh, okay, he's just frozen. He's not disengaged. He's just frozen. I thought he was just reading something on his phone. Really interesting.
Yeah, no, his screen's been frozen for a
There
while.
you go. So he's still got.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Okay.
he's reconnecting on there. No, because he has... Oh, never mind. I'm misreading that. I was going to go, why do you have so many hit dice? But no, you're all level 9. So it was just split between 2 because he has paladin level.
Yeah, it's like me. I've got 7
Yeah.
and 2. Because I'm
Because your
split
hit dice
between.
pool is to do with, yeah. So I've got
With your-
9d6, whereas they've got like a couple of d8s and maybe a d10.
Yay! He's disconnected.
yeah.
My cameras are screwed again.
Yep. And he's back.
Yay! He's reconnected, and now Utari's covering mine.
There we
And
go.
welcome to back, and
Ooh.
we're good.
I don't know. My internet's being weird, guys. I hate it. I hate it so much.
That's fine. But yeah, you spend an hour doing your... You spend an hour taking a short rest.
Mog's in one of
So-
the up tents having a nap.
Yeah.
can hear this.
Assume that I'll spend some hit dice and roll them in a minute. Once I get back in the game.
whenever you get back in there, yeah. Yeah, so you all do that, and after this hour, you spend an hour in this place. The bodies are mostly gone; they're outside burning, and you have a nice little fire that's still kind of smoldering that was prepared, and then a couple of smaller fires that weren't prepared from the fighting. That kind of
Isaac?
burned themselves out.
Isaac.
No, it was the lightning.
Wasn't me. The
The lightning sparked off the spikes.
The lightning
spiked
also
walls.
did it.
Yeah, caused fire. But yeah, you spend a little bit of time. There is meat, like food. Hold on one second. Somebody's calling me.
Roach has lost his audio.
It's because he's someone's talking to him. Yeah. Somebody talking to him. Let me roll some
Somebody
dice.
got a problem. Anyway, so yes, guys, are we gonna head to that closest city and then try and get the wire transfer? Cool.
Yeah. That'd be the most reasonable.
You know you can click those multiple times and pick up.
I have 2 different type of hit dice, so I don't know if you can do that. I have a D10 and a D8 because I have a level of paladin and 8 levels of cleric. I wanted to spend a D10 first because it's the biggest one.
Yeah. But yeah, if we head to that,
But if we can't get the wire transfer from there, we have to go back to
yeah.
Well, we have to head
capital
back
city town.
to the capital anyway, don't we?
Yeah, we have to go back there to get our...
The problem is we can't carry this all the way back there. We don't have a car.
We have horses, and one of mine is a draft horse.
It will not be able to carry this chest full of stuff.
by itself, at least.
Can we pull one of the carts out of the cave?
They
No,
did
they
leave a
took a-
cart earlier on, didn't they?
But they were multiple horse carts is the thing.
Yeah, that's the problem.
True.
They were like armored wagons more than carts.
Yeah, they were APCs of the 12th century.
Medieval era, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I forgot you get your Constitution modifier to hit dice healing, which makes it a lot better than I thought it was.
It's good. If we try for the wire transfer, like, that's what he kind of told us to do, so...
Well, if we try for the wire transfer, they'd probably get the money a bit quicker because they don't have
Yeah.
to wait for us to take the 2 days to get back. If we get to that town, tell
Yeah.
the maid, hey, here's the money, pay the man, and, you know, they can just, you know, sending.
I'm gonna sending the general now. I think.
I'm sorry,
I'll-
I'm laughing at Roach plopping Duke down on the bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast sending for the general now, and we can tell him that we're gonna try and get the money to thingy for the wire transfer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because that
Okay,
way
I'm
he
back.
can always try and
And
make
Duke's gone again.
as well.
Yeah, no, my nephew came in. He needed some water and tea, but he couldn't go get it because he was covered in mud. So he
Fair.
started working at the farm here. I say nephew because he's my nephew, but he's also my age. So
So I'm gonna cast sending to contact the general
okay,
and tell him that we have located the money. We will be progressing to... Oh, where's the map?
That small nearby town that he suggested we go to.
Yeah.
Every word. Oh, where's the map?
Shit. Fuck. Damn it.
I like that. It's perverse. So that you can get a wire transfer.
A bank
And
transfer, yeah.
And get your men paid. We found money in the Underdark. Send.
Press set.
I'm gonna say send was a part of the message.
Yes, everything I just said was part of the
Getting done.
message.
like a grandparent. Just
Where's the map?
like that post somebody looked at their grandmother's Google search history, and it's always it was everything was it was phrased as a question to somebody.
Yeah, hello.
It was
Excuse
like, where
me.
can I find this? Where can I find this recipe, Mr. Google, please? And like things like that. And it's
That's
great.
kind of sweet, though.
Yeah, oh yeah. Failing correct. Good to hear. We'll be awaiting word when it arrives. Don't take too long. Report back to me when you come back to the capital. Underdark?
Question mark?
That's it.
Oh my god.
Okay. So
Yep.
let's try getting this crate out of the cave.
Are we gonna?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Are we gonna...
say, I'm gonna say this because you are. I'm gonna say. Well, are you having a single person lift it with the ability score increase, or are you having two people carry it until you have to, like, manhandle it across like chasms and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
Dookie,
I'm
Well,
good with
I
either.
need the space.
I think using the spells on Ustinia and getting him to carry it will actually allow us to travel faster out of here, and I'm up for traveling faster out of here.
Question as well. At this point, can I cast
I may have an
light
answer.
on things?
Huh?
Please. Can I cast a light spell on the chest, so that way the two of us who are blind in the dark can actually see?
Sure, you can. It is a.
I'm asking the party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking if you could physically do it. I was like, yeah, it's an object.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, not you. God damn it.
Okay. Yeah. No.
We're
yeah,
not
you
No, I
cast
do
light
that
on-
because it's, you know,
Yeah,
I
no,
like
light,
seeing.
light
Yeah,
is
you
fine.
cast it.
We're not sneaking
You
up
cast
on some.
Yeah, you cast light on the object or on the chest, and it's just a big 300-pound lantern.
That's a fucking heavy lantern, man.
Yeah, and it's also like not great because Ustenia, like, you know, because even if this is like your ability score, or even if your strength has been increased, so you have double carrying capacity, it's still a big honking heavy object with an unsecured mass inside of it. So you're doing that thing where you get it up halfway, like your knees are bent, and you just like migrate it up your chest to the shoulder, and you're just like. You're holding it like that, so like a boombox the whole way, because it's the best way you can carry this thing without it like just careening. It's the sound of money.
I'm also going to cast
Down
light.
money.
I'm going to cast light on the end of my wand, like I'm in Harry Potter.
Okay.
Lumos.
All right. Giant spiders start coming out of the forest at you.
Nope,
no.
nope. I mean,
I have thought-
Guardian is kind of like a Patronus, so
God damn it.
Yeah, sure. I have thought, like, what would the apex predator of the Underdark be? And it'd have to be something like a spider or something.
Rivallon.
Just moving me this out of the money chest.
because of Driders. Yeah, it's
It's
It'd
Rivallon.
have to be some sort of.
Rivallon.
well, no, this is Dark Elf
Rivallon?
domain, so like
So,
Go Rivallon.
So, but actually, the worst one would be a giant spider that is a pursuit predator.
Fuck that
I
shit.
don't like that. I don't like that.
They don't attack you, but they're always just there and scare the shit out of you, and you just keep going. Oh, I'll have to work on that.
Damn it! You're giving them ideas, Midge.
That was my idea.
I just googled apex predator of the Underdark, and oh my god, we were wrong. There's some freaking.
Was it purple worm?
It's stuff like that. It's like an aboleths.
Yeah. I was thinking non-magical or upper underdark. Upper under.
Oh, upper Underdark. It's gonna be
up on. Yeah. You head in. I'm gonna say this. It doesn't take you long. Like, it takes you the 3 hours. It's gonna take you 3 hours to get up there. You are a little bit slower because Ustenia is still carrying around this really unorthodox weight. That's kind of
Let me
slowing
mark
down a
off
little bit.
my spells because I'm going to have to cast it 3 times.
Yeah, you'll mark off the spells. They're going to be used up no matter what.
I now only have level 1 spell slots left.
Okay.
It's not even noon.
No one died.
No one.
No one died.
I've still got
She's the
heal.
one who died again last time. White mage is down. So
The worst mage to go down.
Yeah, the worst mage. You don't have to make a lot of checks though. You know where all this stuff is. You've come down here, and you also took the precaution to mark the walls at every branch.
Oh yeah, Mug did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she did.
yeah. I'm glad
Mog
I
with the
remembered
big
it
brain.
then.
Mog with the big brain.
I like the idea that we get halfway out and then Mog looks to her left and he goes, "Oh yeah."
It's been a hectic 2.5 minute fight.
I think it was actually a minute exactly. I think we got to round 10.
We did.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Because suddenly Midge went, oh, and I come down from the ceiling, so my wings don't just disappear at the end of this round and I crash into the ground.
Yeah. But yeah, you're heading back. The only thing I'm going to have you do is, how are you traversing the rope bridge?
It's got to be polymorph. Sorry, Midge, but
That's fine.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing
no.
is, how are you transporting the chest across the rope bridge? Or is it just polymorph again?
Can we make a handle out of rope that he can sort of grab with his claws?
I have enough rope. I have 100 feet of rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got plenty of rope because you have some people here who have played D&D a
50
lot, so they
feet
know.
of
They
rope.
know, buy 3 things of rope, keep it on you at all times.
Just in case.
There's
It's
another
just
reason why
standard.
I've got 6,000 caltrops. That's the reason why.
You
That's
see, you
I've
see
only
Isaac
got
whip
30 caltrops.
a bag of caltrops out of his pocket and just go yeet.
No, it's 6,000 ball bearings and 30 caltrops. I was wrong.
Ah, you see.
Ow, get down.
Get up, dude.
God.
Get up.
Dad,
Get
up, dude.
Go on, Dave.
Dad,
Get up, dude.
thieves.
Yeah! I'm cute. Fuss me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll mark off a polymorph.
Get down. Let go of
The
my
the golden
No. No.
owl
No, Dad.
appears again, like
Okay, so you're going as an owl, and you're just
Owlzuk has returned.
Okay,
Fine.
so yeah,
I'll
with
sit
that
on the
being
bed
the case,
and look at you disapprovingly.
yeah, I can handle that.
Can you though? Can you though, Rose?
I can handle a
just
cat
going-
disapproval. I've had a cat for 13 years, okay, or more actually.
Still
You know
looking.
what? You know what? You're right. You're right.
I can handle that shit. Actually,
Cats,
no, wow,
the
it's-
most judgmental animals.
it was 15 years actually. But yeah, so there. With that being the case, then I'm not going to require anybody to make a check on your way out. You don't require it because you're not traversing the rope bridge. Once everybody's transported over, Ustenia does the same kind of, lift, shoulder, and then go walking again out. It's not like great, Ustenia. Like you're not being super stressed because of the spell being cast on you, but it's awkward because because the other thing you didn't realize is that this is all at a slight incline.
Yeah.
So you're climbing up with a weight.
Yeah.
So
His thighs will be burning if he wasn't.
yeah, it's not
under
great.
spell right now.
But you all spend 3 hours climbing back up, avoiding getting lost, avoiding falling, and all that stuff that you had to avoid on your way down. And you arrive back at this entrance to this cave. You exit out of the Underdark per se, and now you're just at the cave entrance. It is basically noon at this point.
A light.
Or near
burns.
enough. Yeah, it's pretty bright. And you notice it's a little bit more like you can hear the water much closer to the entrance to this cave.
Great.
Due to the tide having come in. It doesn't present as much of a problem because your horses are all still there, right on the outside of the cave. They've just been kind of
So
there.
glad we didn't drown our horses.
Yeah.
Man, I would have been so pissed if my warhorse would have drowned. I'm like, fuck! I spent like 150
You
gold
arrive
on
and
that.
there's just corpses.
Corpses every fucking way.
Just turn.
Well,
just turn a horse
suppose we
into a
will
corpse.
eat well tonight.
Yeah.
Wait, just double checking all the horses are there, right?
Yes, all of them are there. Nobody's come down here. You can tell why this probably hasn't been discovered, because about midway out, you can put all the stuff back on the horses, get on your horses, and start riding out as you rode in.
Before we go to ride off, Isaac, would you mind taking a note of where this is on a map, so we can show it to the general, just in case?
I can assist with this, given my natural mental cartography skills.
I would.
Okay. Yeah,
Justinian's
you
big
mark
brain.
it down. It's not hard.
There's still a big brain.
Yes.
But you notice midway out of the little like crevasse that this is like tucked into, like the hooves of your horses are getting wet, and it's not too bad, but you get to that point, like a horse can still walk and not swim up to a certain point. They're near that point. Like when you get out and you have to kind of like cross the deepest part to get back onto dry beach. But you're not sure if this is like max tide or not. So who knows if that's the reason this hasn't been spotted before. But it's pretty far back there, and it would be difficult to get to it on foot.
I'm so glad that the rogue that got away didn't steal one of our horses. I would have flipped.
Actually, there's a horse missing. It's Isaac's. I will. I give my horse
with
the
the tabard, with the tabard still on.
Oh yeah. I give my horse a pat.
Didn't get it to a
him
chop
thanks.
shop early enough.
It's funny.
That's
Well, they just call
these guys could just eat previous horses.
well, they just call it a butcher.
Yeah.
But
Chop shop is reference to cars, not. Yeah.
I have to say, if you can get chop shops in this world, can you also get customization shops? I want to put some rims on my horse.
well, if Red Dead Redemption 2 is any indicator, yes.
Put some super fancy like adamantium hooves on my horse.
I was just thinking about fitting a nitrous kit to my horse.
But can you drift in it though?
It's rather than the button. It's like
Hey,
you just feed them.
Welcome to Paver's Customs.
Or
spray paint
It's
cash.
like,
a skirt kit and underlighting.
It's like a can that you squirt in the horse's mouth.
Skirt
God,
kit,
I'm just thinking.
for
I'm just
sure.
thinking of.
Just lean over. Time to boost.
I'm just thinking of a horse with hydraulics.
Oh no! And undercarriage lightning. Undercarriage lightning.
You've never ever.
That's just like that's like 2 sticks with nails, and you just jab them into the back of the poor horse's legs to make it bend.
I like the idea of a low-riding horse where they've like stretched it so the horse can like go down on its legs and kind of crawl.
Well, if it's a
Or,
customization, to make a low riding horse, they just replace the actual legs of a horse with human arms.
That's wrong.
And then the
There's
low
all
riding
kinds of
horse
messed
that you're
up.
riding is moving along like the Grudge. So just.
And of course, there's always one fuck.
And it gets and the funny thing is, it gets 20 times more creepy when it goes in reverse. Because then it's like.
And there's always that one guy who's got undercarriage lighting. He's got undercarriage dancing lights cast.
So yes, you get back onto the road. You get back onto the road.
Thank God.
That was a good detour.
I don't know what to do with you people half the time.
I don't know
you
either.
love us, really. You hate us, but you love us, really.
Oh, he gets stressed a lot. So yeah, hold on. I think actually, do I have the map for this city? Did I put it in here?
Paves? I haven't seen it.
Well, you wouldn't see it if it's something that I put in and didn't. Why would you know it before you got there?
How do you know it's there? Very slowly panning towards the camera.
Okay.
And my camera takes like 6 years to read. There we go. Now refocus.
Go. Yeah, you head out along the road to Pavers, according to your map, down the main road, the Southern Coast Road, and it doesn't take you long to come across it's not like a huge town. It's definitely not like a city. This is a town, but a fairly populous one, much more so than the really depressing village that you passed by on the way down to Stewin Lance, with the oddly really forthright individuals that lived there. There we go. But yeah, you see the fires or the smoke from chimneys long before you see the town, and then you come across it. It's fairly tightly packed, bundled town, a couple of large buildings scattered about it. It has a dock area, little harbor along the coast. That's about it. What do you want to do?
We can't see the map right now, but yeah.
Find the bank.
Yeah, find a bank branch. And say that. Kind of explain the situation.
Hello, I'd like to open current account.
Open chickening account, please. And a savings account, at least 3% interest.
You head in.
Do you accept payment from Utesh Union?
You head in. Make an intelligence check, Sesh and
Fuck. Why are you making me do
Isaac.
this? Roach.
Sesh and Isaac. Oh, and Mog.
Oh!
And Mog.
Well. Pog.
Intelligence.
Nope.
Make an intelligence check.
Nope.
Nope.
Wow. Fuck. Sesh's days as a town guard are really coming through. All those hours she spent standing in the bank.
Due to your experience inside of like civilized lands, cities, and also a background with your family's like merchant kind of roots, you realize pretty quickly there wouldn't be like a bank in a city or a town like this. It's a bit too small for that, but functionally similar. There would be like a merchant's guild that would exist here.
Oh yeah.
That would have a branch probably in the major cities nearby, that it would essentially operate off the same principle. Yeah.
I am actually
That's
a guild
right.
merchant is my background. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So you know that's how it functions, at least in a city like this. Like banks would be like big cities have banks, but
This city has a
these
merchant's guild.
Yeah, this little town's got a merchant guild. And it doesn't take you long kind of riding through the main road through this town to find the Merchant's Guild Hall inside of in the limits here. It's it's a couple-story building near the main road. It's fairly fancy compared to a lot of the other dwellings here, and it's also got Havas Merchants Guild like written on it on multiple signs. So yeah, you find that fairly quickly. How are you wanting to all go about this? What's the plan? What are you doing?
Well, we need to try and hand this off for transfer, don't we? So we need to try and find. I don't know how guilds work. This guild works, so I think Sesh, this is on you to try and find.
Well, as far as I know,
in
there should be a guild individual who handles a lot of the books. So a bookkeeper of some nature. They will be the ones who will do all that sort of accounting. But as long as we find a representative and tell them, hey, we're here to do this on the request of
General what's his face?
Haslid.
Haslid. Fourth Order.
Haslid of the Fourth
I'm just
Order.
finding.
We should be okay.
General Haslam Vogue.
Aslan.
There you go. Because just going up and saying we're here on orders of General Haslam would be just the equivalent of you going into a base code. I'm here on the orders of General Bill. It's his
General
first
Bill.
name. It doesn't really work. But okay,
So, yeah.
you head into the.
I am
able to
Lieutenant
converse.
Aguma of the Army Intelligence.
You head in to the guild hall, Sash. It is open. It's kind of like a mix between like a union hall and a mini like a union hall, a meeting hall. It's got a lot of functions to it because there's like a little area where there are chairs and tables and stuff that you see individuals who look like probably individuals signed on with this merchant guild who are like taking a load off or like resting for a few days. There might even be rooms available to guild members.
Yep, that's the thing.
For people here. But when you inquire about, when you talk about some financing and some, and the like, handling money, you're directed by one of the individuals in there towards like a back corner room. There's like a little door with a glass front to it. It has no writing on it, but it's just kind of tucked in the corner. And you kind of knock. There's like just a positive noise, like an affirmative, that you think means come on in.
You hope means come on in.
Yeah. When you open the door, there's a small office with a section of the office behind pretty thick iron bar, like reinforcement, like a little area that also seems to have like a big iron chest kind of bolted to the ground in the corner, just like two layers of action. A little desk with what surprises you, an individual who is much too big for the desk. Like there's this half-orc man who
Poor fella.
Who's kind of stereotypical half-orc, really muscle-bound, tall guy sitting in a chair behind the desk. Clashing in a way, he's got these really tiny glasses that kind of like the nose pinched kind of variety. They don't have anything that goes around the ear. They just kind of pinch on the nose.
Oh,
he's got
Ponce, I
papers.
think.
Yeah,
Ponce,
he's got
yeah.
papers. Yeah, he's got papers spread around in front of him. They look to have a lot of like columns and areas for like numbers and things. He's got a quill and an ink next to him. He looks up. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. We're here on behalf of General Haslin Vogue of the Fourth Order. We have some money that they need transferred.
Oh. One moment. There's no room for you to sit. There's no other chairs in here. There's just a desk that takes up about 50% of the usable area outside of the bars in this room. And he like makes a couple of marks on a paper that was in front of him, and then kind of shuffles it, tries to make it look nice, and then just kind of puts it off to the side, kind of half cleaned. Right. Money transfer to where?
Stonelass.
Stonelass, right. We have a branch there. I can get it. How quickly do you need it there? We could have
As
a boat
soon
come
as
by and
possible. Today.
like an express today. How much are we talking?
I look at the group as if to say, should we? How honest? Like. No.
I don't mind
She
paying for it if the general pays me back, so...
turns around to him and she says, it's the order's entire wages for the month.
Do you have it on you? We need
Yes.
collateral if I'm going to give the message.
And I point at the giant chest that Ustinia and I are probably carrying at this point. Because
Yeah.
they're probably out of spells.
Alright, young man, bring it in here, just put it down.
Young man.
Who's the
He
ears?
just points
yeah,
towards the
man.
Stygia.
Young man?
Yeah, basically he put it on the desk.
Like
He
the
put
only,
it on the desk,
Desk
and the desk kind of...
bends.
Yeah, that's the thing. You hear... It's wood. It's a wooden desk,
Yeah.
and it's creaking and bending slightly. Alright.
That works.
Yeah, he, like opens the chest up. Alright. By the way, did anybody take a look in the inside of this chest when you
I think
got
someone
there?
I had
opened
a
it.
glance.
we investigate when we investigate.
Right. I don't think I even said, yeah, basically nothing was taken out of this because it's not just a giant amount of like loose coins. It's
Organized.
it's like 12 or 13 big packs in paper, and there's one that's opened, and they're smaller like sheets of coin, like little maybe like 20 gold piece coin stacks that are wrapped in paper, and there's like maybe 100 in each one of these big subdivisions, and you can tell they haven't been taken. They still
I'd
fit
assume
nicely.
I would have seen something similar to that during my guards days, where they're like, they pay you for the month. This is your stack of
Yeah, it
coin.
would come out like this. It's
Yeah.
just like a little paper packet they give you, and that's got your pay, and then yeah.
It's
that's how it goes.
it's your brown envelope. with
It's
the
the
info.
best way they know how to kind of make sure it's all transported correctly and subdivided without anybody kind of taking some off the top and that stuff, because you can tell if it's been reopened. So it's got like a little wax seal on it. He looks through the... All right. Give me a minute. And he like hoists himself up, and this guy's tall. It does like there's a lot of
clashing here.
There's a lot of clash between this half orc and his job.
Listen, right? You can be a accountant, be 6'8".
I'm not saying
and
you
jacked.
feel great about thinking that when you look at this man. I'm just saying that's what happens.
You can be an accountant 6'8" and jacked. I've seen one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah. He gets up and he kind of like he kind of makes the indication that he needs to leave the room. So he's kind of doing that thing where he's being polite. He's just like indicating for you guys to get the hell out of the way as he moves. Kind of shuffles past you, heads out. A couple minutes later, he arrives back with a much smaller gnomish woman who is walking beside. She's wearing same kind of like it's like guild member.
Is this the manager?
He's it's like
Small
he's
gnomish
afraid.
woman, red
He's afraid of
hair. Just goes, I love numbers all the frigging time.
Shortcut brown hair.
This is
But
totally
no.
like in the bank where if you deposit a large enough amount of money, the manager wants to come out and personally woo you.
but no,
This
he
is
comes
like
by,
if one of us
she's-
turned up at a bank and was like, "Here's 50 grand. I want to open an account," and they're like, "Oh, they get the manager."
That's
I
when the
don't want
team
the-
coffee
Give me
starts.
an hour to
fucking
look through the
manager.
news just to make sure.
I
this
want
is
to
on the
open
level.
the account.
But you go ahead. You see him coming back with this gnomish woman. they enter the office again. Still, most of the room's taken up by him, and the desk. She doesn't take up a lot of room. And there's like the little whispering to each other, and she kind of claps her hands together and goes, "Right, money transfer. The month's pay for the fifth order,
Fourth.
fourth order.
Haslin Vogue.
Hazlitt Vogue on Annals of General Hazlitt Vogue. Stunland. Payable. Stunlands. Alright. I'll get that. And you see she's a very cheerful lady for a few seconds, and then just like everything goes really quiet in the room and her eyes roll back, and then a few seconds later goes, "Alright, it's been done."
Huh. Margie's just sitting there like, bruh.
The power of Satan.
It was like everything got quiet for a split second, her eyes rolled back, and then it just okay.
No, what I imagine in my head is that, like, in her hand she's got like a sketched in pentagram.
But she joyously, like almost skippingly, walks past all of you and back to her office. Alright. It's been done. This will be payable to them today if they come and try and get it from the guild hall in Studlass. Without too much trouble.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you.
Don't worry about it. And he, like, you see him take out a key that he's got under his shirt, opens the gate, and just kind of starts manhandling this big thing of coin into there as you leave. But yeah, you have exited, or you've deposited the money, and apparently it's been sent off, or at least it's payable out now. The transfer has occurred.
I will contact the general, tell him you can collect the wages from the guild hall in Stunlass. Yes, Underdark. You know, the massive deep cave system below the world's crust that's full of drow and droga and spiders and things, and lots
I think
of
it's cut off at that point.
Yeah.
It's got 25 words.
You weren't counting. You were like, just ramble.
Good to hear about the pay. We'll talk later.
You forgot to add "and bandits" to the end of that sentence.
To be fair, a lot of things didn't get in there. Yeah, you've now
Mushroom
done
bungee sticks.
yeah, mushroom spears, wielded by mushroom men.
Oh no.
So what do you all want to do now? What's your what do you want to do? What do you got?
If you all want to stay in the guild hall as a member, I can get everyone a room. If we want to take the time off today and then go back tomorrow.
A long rest would do us quite well, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Sounds good.
Session's
Okay.
still slightly burnt from all the lightning.
Yeah, it's yeah. We'll say this just to kind of pass time a bit quicker. You all lot use Sesh's guild membership perk to get some rooms. You stay over for the night. You leave in the morning, and
Would
start
you mind
heading
hitting us
back
with
to
that long
Stunlass.
rest, boy?
Yes, I can do that.
I can do that.
I can fix that.
I got a plan for that.
Just let me go ahead and put the rest on. Even though
Thank
you
you.
didn't say please.
Oh, thanks, Rose. You're great. I
Thank
love you.
you.
Yeah. You head out. And we're gonna say you spend the same amount of time getting back as you did coming in to the site, which
So
I think was
2.5?
2.5 days. So we are going to. So that was the 34th. So 35th, 36th. You arrive on the 1st.
Hey, new month.
Yeah.
How long till?
Another month?
The
it month?
equinox.
Yeah.
Until
That's the 2nd of next month.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Every month is 36 days in this calendar. There's 10 months with 36 days each.
Because it's a unique calendar.
Well, you all have the calendar available to you.
We do.
Don't say you don't, 'cause I've put it in here enough times.
Roach better be chilly.
So, you arrive back at Stonelass, going through all the rigmarole that you have the previous time you arrived. What do y'all want to do now?
Go and see the general.
We need to go see the general. So yeah.
Okay. When you arrive back at the Fourth Order's headquarters building, you do the same thing. You go up to the guards, tell them who you are and who you want to see. They go back in, and they bring you into the house, but they don't take you to the same spot they took you the previous times. They took you to another area of the house, and you're presented to an individual that is much younger, not Hazlitt Vogue. You see a young human male, probably like early 20s area, in a military uniform, much like Hazlitt's, though much more neat pressed, cleaned, and less fancy than you saw him wear. The guards kind of leave you, and you're all Turquoise Company, correct?
Correct.
Right. I'm adjutant to to General Vogue. He's unfortunately indisposed at the moment. He's at a meeting with some of the other officers in the city. I was told to speak with you when you arrived, if he was not here, for your report. How did everything go? We got the payment. The pay came in easily enough. So good on that point. How did everything else go?
Well, it seems a band of individuals managed to happen upon your caravan that was carrying the pay. They had an encampment nearby that they were relatively familiar with. They seem to have gotten it very much by chance, kind of disorderly. They had a mage among them, bandits numbering of around, what was it, about 12?
8 or 12.
12, somewhere around there.
Total. They hid it in a cove that had a tunnel towards the Underdark. Unfortunately, they...
I'm sorry, what? What was that?
A tunnel that led to the Underdark.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I wasn't expecting
Where
that
did the
either.
cove... How far away from...
Oh, we've got it on the map. Here's an estimation of where this tunnel, this seaside cave was. The cave, you continue for a while. There's then
how?
a rope bridge, and then yes.
As far as I am aware, no one's been able to find an entrance to the Underdark this side of the Sunset Range. Thought to...
Where's the Sunset Range? Out of...
It's the big mountain that cuts.
The big mountain range that separates this.
Oh, it's the one right next to us, isn't it? That cuts between the clan
yeah.
and Tonia. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Well,
Got
it
your
seems
first
we
one.
have found one.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, I don't think we noticed any way to get deeper from where we were.
To explore the entire chamber that you found? Or was...
No, we went straight to the ruins that they were using as their base of operations.
I'll have to pass this up the chain. This would be an interesting find if we ever get a chance to actually look at it.
It was
Thank
an
you.
experience.
Thank you for
Yeah.
doing this. It's very helpful. We'll have to keep an eye out, though banditry isn't unknown in the dynasty. Though never usually this successful.
It seems like
Their
it was
mage
mostly
was
luck.
quite skilled.
He
Well,
was-
That's not unknown. I'll have to write a report on this.
He was quite adept.
What was
in
your
doing
name?
lightning
Sorry,
spells.
you're the adjutant, but we didn't catch your name. Sorry.
Oh, Adjutant Lyro. That's Lima, India, Alpha Romeo Oscar.
Liar. Oh.
Okay. Lyro, yeah. Adjutant Lyro, or
If you
Dara.
start shouting thunder, 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 thundercats, I'll be really upset.
Or really happy.
And he looks, he's human. He's definitely in his 20s. Like clean shaven, prim and proper. Obviously they don't have like
He does
an
not look
iron-
like a real
they don't
man.
they don't iron their clothes, but if they could, there'd be a crease in his pants, like kind of
Yeah.
like very
Ouch, press. Let's go.
yeah. Yeah, I'll have to write a report on this. Pass it up the chain. Mr. Vogue, or General Vogue. That's not me messing that up. That's him messing that up, by the way. Because I know that happens. General Vogue did leave me with some things you might need to know. For one, he was able to. You apparently expressed interest in meeting with Miss Aloth,
Oh, yes.
the historian. She has agreed to meet with you in the next 2 days. She's having a small luncheon with other academics, and would be happy to host you during that time.
Is that at her residence?
Yes, he points out where it gives you the directions and everything. There is also the apparently an individual you knew or have known previously that
Yes.
Mr. Bosch.
Friedrich Vosch, yes.
Yes, he's on the outskirts of the city. He's in an empty lot. Apparently, he has his own wagon that he's living in. He's been here for a few days, or he's been there for a few days, but apparently he's been traveling through the country for a while. He points out where he's located. If you were still interested in reconnecting,
I think all the knowledge we can gather, the better.
he has no recognition on what you're talking about, by the way.
I'm just talking to Isaac, really.
No, just letting you know. And also, General Vogue left this for you, and he presents a folded parchment.
I open.
All right, this looks to be a handwritten note, fairly short and concise, to the Turquoise Company from General Hazlitt Vogue. I have been actively working to advance our mutual goal of overcoming our common foe. Unfortunately, much of what I have to say has been classed as tall tales and ignored by my fellow military leaders inside the city. I have few other options than to try and bring this to the noble leadership of the city and the nation. Clean yourselves up, come back to my headquarters on the 24th of Lathan Hill at 5 p.m. Be ready to rub
That's-
shoulders with important people.
That's this month, right?
Yes.
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 We have a party
Well,
to go
good thing
to.
most of us ordered that night suit.
Yes.
Yeah, we can go collect those suits as well right now.
Yes.
Rivallon is just like,
That's
fuck,
the 24th.
I didn't buy a
so
nice
You have
suit.
a few.
Rivallon
few
never
weeks.
goes anywhere without his armor. Why would he want to wear a suit?
Can we get him
With
like
rich people.
fancy cape or
He
something?
went to a big gathering
fancy
with
cape.
Utari's
Yes, we get him a fancy cape. Let's give him
family
a fancy cape.
and went in fully armed and armored.
Let's get you a fancy cape, though.
Can we get you like a fancy cape? Like
I have a fancy cape, I just don't wear it.
Rivallon does have something to pick up, though.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does. Fucking blood.
So, you're presented with that note. You get that. It's the 24th of this month, and
I
it's
need
now
a
the
dress.
1st.
So you have 3 weeks and 3 days.
Yes.
Obviously.
So we've got some research to do because we can go talk to Aloth, who is, and if there's other academics there, that's a really good place to go right now. And then we could always
talk to
stop
Friedrich.
with Bosch. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked to Friedrich. We also look for another job in town. 'cause
And Bosch.
we're
Yeah.
pretty fucking poor right now.
Huh. You are.
Listen. All right, I bought a church.
I know. I helped.
I know. Thanks, by the way.
So yes,
I funded a fifth of that church.
Yeah. Technically,
a fifth of it's Paylorian.
Actually,
I like the idea that there's just one star somewhere.
there's a star in like one of the bottom corners somewhere.
So where so what are you guys doing? You present with the note. He thanks you. He says, I have to get back to my duties, and please. And you're escorted out of the headquarters by a guard. What do y'all want to do? We're gonna go through this. Unless you are specifically going out to interact with the academics or anything like that, or have a specific thing you want to call out, we are in kind of a downtime to pass these 3 weeks.
Cool.
So
I want to see if I
So
can
what
find
do you-
work for all of us.
for all, okay,
Any kind of work, doesn't really matter what,
all right.
as long as it's above board, because sesh is lawful.
All right, yeah, you don't actually give me an investigation check.
Oh, I'm bad at these. There it is. Oh, yeah.
Crit fail.
It's okay because I rolled a dice to see what the DC was, and I rolled a 17. So
I would have had to roll an 18 or more to beat that. So yeah.
yeah, no, you would have had a +2 to that. So
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting my intelligence modifier is more than I think it
Yeah.
is.
So, you spend a few days looking around, but it seems as though because it's very close to the solstice, which is a very big holiday for these people, as well as very close to the vote on the next heir, Prince Heir. There's not a lot of like things that need protection in the city. Which is kind of where you guys excel because
Yeah.
because
Protection
there's
or
so many.
elimination.
Yeah, there's so much military presence, and there are 3 orders inside of the city right now, and you know there's going to be more in the next few weeks. So this is like Boston during the occupation right before the American Revolution, where like for every 3 people there's a soldier kind of thing. Like there's a lot of armed presence here. So protections, it's one of those things people aren't just paying for right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
And you're just unable to find work for the party. Like it's
I couldn't
just
use my
almost
guild's
impossible.
membership to put a word in there, be like, hey.
With that roll, no. With that roll, they don't even need
Fair
it.
enough. Fair enough.
With that roll, they don't even need it. The only thing else they have that they would need it in would be like up north, where they still have caravans that would need protection. More so now because some orders have been pulled out from the north to reinforce the city during this time.
I would have went there and they'd be like, actually, we don't have any work.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
nothing
shit.
Nothing here. Nothing here.
Yeah,
This is
fair enough.
yeah,
So-
this is it's not
Picked
great.
up
It's like
we've all picked up our fancy garments, yes?
Yeah.
yeah, you picked up your fancy garments. I think you pay if anybody had the second half to pay, you can pay it now. I think
I paid all up.
I think you all paid up front.
Yeah, we all paid
But
up
you all
front.
get your fancy garments and all that stuff. You have 3 weeks to spend.
Can Rivallon go and find his gun?
Right, you go to the gnome.
The gnome.
The gnome.
The gnome.
Not a name, just the
Tegan.
gnome.
The
Tegan
sniffer.
The gnome takerer.
The sniffer.
Wait a minute.
You head off a few days after you arrive back in the city to gather your commission.
Yeah. I take the bag of holding with me.
All right. When you arrive, essentially the tinkerer that you hired, he informs you that he was able to get kind of what you wanted to do done, but there were some problems implementing it safely.
I didn't ask for safe.
For the firer.
I didn't ask for safe.
So essentially what's going to happen here, so what's happened here, because I've rolled his tinkering checks for each day that he worked on it.
You basically fucked the rolls, didn't you, Roach?
No, let's go over this. So you have, I know you don't want to call it a blunderbuss because it doesn't have the flared front to it.
Yeah, it's not a blunderbuss.
Yeah, you have a shotgun.
Yes.
You have a muzzle loading shotgun.
Yes.
But the problem is the barrel of this weapon is meant to operate in a certain defined pressure.
Yes.
And you're dealing with somebody who up until recently didn't know gunpowder existed, let alone how to use it. So, the test shots he was able to come up with using what he could to make the ammunition kind of work.
Yeah.
You have a chance. This thing is not stable. This thing's not stable the way it is. So when you fire it, which by the way, let's go over this. I don't have the weapon made like as an entry, but it's essentially it's a ranged weapon. You do not have proficiency with it, so you are not going to get a proficiency bonus with it. It's a dexterity attack roll, ranged attack roll, without your proficiency. It throws it has two things. You either fire it and get a 1d10 attack roll with it, and that's with a normal shot, but its ranged is halved to a normal musket because you cut the barrel off of it. Or if you use the shots, you get extra damage. You get 2d10 damage to any creature within a 5-foot radius of what you're targeting. Like you're just kind of like popping out like a shell. Like it's an area of effect.
Yeah.
But you have a chance this thing exploding every time you use it with those shots. And it's not a great chance. Like basically this is like somebody hand loading and not knowing what that means. And they kind of, oh, this'll work. So it'll function. It'll function with the normal rounds that you have easily enough. You're provided with 10 shots, like 10 shot rounds.
Allow me to just... Basically, instead of just replacing the bullet with barbarians, he decided to repack the whole damn thing.
He informs you that, unfortunately, the repacking the bullet wasn't enough. I tried repacking the ball, didn't work as well. The powder's too loose, so the first couple of tests with that unfortunately just produced a lot of smoke, and the shot remained in the chamber. So I had to pack it with something a little bit more fine and more vigorous. And he produces blasting powder that is used in mines, which is different and deadly. So I packed some of this in there.
What chance do I have of blowing my arm off when I fire?
You roll 1d20 every attack, and if you get a natural one,
yeah,
I'll roll on a chart. Essentially, I'll roll on a mechanical failure chart, and it could be something like it just doesn't go off, which is also bad. Or it could explode and deal X amount of damage to the firer, kind of thing. So it doesn't. It's the thing. If you roll a natural one with it, though, it's not good. That's the thing. It's not a good thing if you roll a natural 1, it's never good. What happens afterwards?
That's basically you're saying you're not going to give me a percentage chance of this thing blowing up in my hand.
Because it doesn't. Yeah, basically, yeah. Because you wouldn't.
You're not
know.
even going to say where on the scale I should be aiming for.
I will roll. I'll put it this way. The chart for the mechanical faults is a D8. It's an 8. It's an 8 options that I'll roll a D8 on.
So it's.
So
some of those are more worse than others.
I have to roll
12.5% chance of your hand blowing up.
Think about it like this, because old D&D had a thing called a fumble. If you rolled a 1, bad things happened.
Yes, I get that.
Yeah, this is the same thing. It's just it's a bit more involved because it's also a mechanical item.
No, I don't care about the D8.
It's a 5% chance of your hand. It's something going horribly wrong.
Is it just when I hit a nat 1, or is it when I?
Yeah,
hit,
that's what I'm saying. It's a nat 1.
5?
The other it's a nat 1 when you're using the shot.
Yeah.
Like charges, and the other default problem with it is because of the modifications that were made to use the shot.
Yeah.
As a standard rifle or a standard musket, its ranged is now half.
Oh, I get that. That's fine.
Okay, yeah. So that's what you're getting out of this. I'll make the weapon for you. What you're getting out of this is you're getting a gun that can use regular shot or regular ball or shot. And with the shot, you have a chance of bad things happening.
You got about a 1 in 5 chance of it going badly and something happening.
Well, it's not 1 in 5. It's
1 in 20.
I think it's 1 in 20. It's a 5% chance of bad things happening. And those bad things can be somewhat mundane, but a good number of them aren't.
Oh,
They could be catastrophic. Let's just say this: don't roll a 1, because if you roll a 1, there's a good chance that it's no longer usable as you, even if it doesn't hurt you, because basically you just asked the medieval alchemist to make you bullets.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and he made them as best he could, and you basically got a gun that's now has like basically nitrite as its powder.
I like things like that. So, do we have to set up a weapon thing for it? So
I'll set it up this week. This week. I didn't know if you were going to immediately go for here, so I didn't have the time to
no, that's cool.
Have you met Rivallon?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know how long you guys were going to spend or anything like that. But it just like if you're wanting to get like a gauge of what it does, like that's 2d10 in a 5-foot radius that it can hit people, and they have to make a dexterity saving throw. So basically, you have like a little mini firing line mechanic is what I'm working with, or if you're firing a regular shot, it's a 1d10 plus your. Actually, no, you don't have proficiency as well. That's the other thing. If you wanted to gain proficiency, you would have to get a number of shot and spend time practicing. You'd have to learn how to use this effectively. So, however you want to go about it, I don't know if you have enough shots to do that.
He only had 40, I think.
Yeah, I think you could theoretically. The way the Tinkerer was talking is his problem wasn't making the bullets themselves or anything like that. It was just with the bird shot or with the ball bearings, the powder that was with them was too loose or was not good enough. It was too loose. It just didn't have enough oomph to it. But he didn't say he couldn't try and replicate the powder that was in those shots if you wanted to like get a number of rounds to practice with a normal rifle or a normal musket. You would? Okay. We got 3 weeks. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down in a note somewhere.
Yep.
Or somewhere, or have Mog write down a note somewhere.
Hi.
Yeah. Thank you, Red. You spend 2 weeks practicing with. It's kind of improvised shots, essentially. It's no longer pre-packaged. You're packing. Like he gives you the components, and you're figuring
learning
out
how to pack them and things like that.
Yeah. They're not perfect. The powder's kind of hit or miss. He's learning as he goes as well. So sometimes you got a lot hotter load than last time. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say with an uninterrupted 2 weeks of time going out of the city and like and just finding like an open stretch to put some targets out and kind of fire, you get, I'm gonna say you get 3/4 or no, 2/3. Let's say 2/3 of the way to proficiency with the firearm. You would need to spend about another another week and a half, 2 weeks to gain the rest of it, and that's dedicated because basically this is you training. You are doing training during this time to try and gain the proficiency.
Yeah.
You still don't gain a proficiency with that level. With D&D, it's kind of an all or nothing thing. But you're 2/3 of the way to gaining that now with the time you spent there. Like, because I think the rule of thumb is like it's a month. I think, right? It's a month to gain a proficiency or something in that. So you don't have all that, but you're close. You're kind of close to it at this point. I'm giving you some extra because you did use it before and you are very well versed in ranged combat. So, but yeah, that's where you're at right now by spending.
I'd still need another week
time.
and a half, 2 weeks worth of dedicated training.
Yeah.
Dedicated training with uninterrupted, just learning all of this, and you've gotten better. You know how to load it at least. I'm not going to make you test to load it anymore. Like you've gotten that down. Like you even done some like time trials and stuff. I'll say this: how much? Let's say, take 100 gold pieces, and that's what you paid that man to do. Like in that 2 weeks, that's how much he charged you for just like lots
ammunition.
of ammo. Yeah,
And you've given him a gun, haven't you?
Yep. Gave him a gun as well.
Yep.
Which is why he's only charging you 100 for this.
Yeah.
It's pretty involved alchemical process to make gunpowder, or as close as he can get to it. But this is helping him learn how to make the things that make the actual weapon work.
Yep.
So now it's kind of like it's a.
Basically, I'm giving him the ability to corner the market on new technology.
Yeah, and he's appreciative. He's appreciative. You ever asked this guy his name, by the way?
Tegan.
Tegan.
Tegan
okay.
the Gnomish Tinkerer. I wrote it down.
Thank you, Red.
Oh, guys,
I just
after we've done
all
this
in the book.
party, I'm not doing anything but training with this rifle for the next 2 weeks. Just so you know.
He's just going out into the forests, being all zen with it.
There's not even forest on the peninsula, but there is a lot of rolling hills and stuff like that, and nobody really bothers you when you're going out
No,
there.
because every like minute or so you just hear.
And people are like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that?
Thunder. It's been thundering.
But you can
for the
tell.
last
You
2
can tell, by
weeks.
the way, Rivallon. You can tell just like kind of base. You can tell if you were to use this, like as a primary weapon or something like that.
Yeah.
If you were to, because basically you're just using a normal musket, like an uncut musket. Mechanically, you need to load this after every time you fire it, and it's more involved than just bringing an arrow out. You would have to have another attack is required. Basically, for you, how many attacks do you have a round? 2. So you could fire every round because you would basically use one attack to fire, and the other attack action would be to load.
roll. Yeah.
And that's how it would work for you, unless you did like a second wind or action surge or something like that.
Second wind is health.
Yeah, action surge, which I think gives you another 2
So-
attacks. So you could
Yeah.
so you could fire twice in a round if you really pushed yourself, which is ridiculous given the fact that that's
Firing
6 seconds.
once every 6 seconds
Yeah,
is pretty damn frigging awesome with a musket, given the fact that most of the time in Napoleonics, 3 shots a minute was like, oh my god.
God tier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was yeah.
This man has spent 75 years training to fire a musket, and he can fire it 4 times a minute. This man's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I can
But
do
it's
it
D&D
10
it's
times.
D&D and
What
you're
the hell are you lot working at?
Yeah, Rivallon
It's
is
D&D, and all of you are basically superhuman, so it doesn't really matter. By the way, I didn't say this earlier. You all leveled up.
Damn!
You leveled up as
Oh.
soon as you took the time. As soon as you got home. As soon as you got to back to Stonelass.
Oh, that's
That
cool.
is your. That was
Arcane
your.
Archer
It's,
We're on
it's
break.
time- It's time for a break. We will level during this break. Let's go, guys.
We're finishing, guys, because we're literally melting in this office.
Yeah, according
we
to
can
the-
leave
what was
things
posted
up.
an hour ago.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys go and dunk your heads in the fridge.
It's currently 28 outside, plus 2 computers and 2 people in a very small office.
Yeah, I'm currently a little bit dying myself as well.
Oh, that's great. I can turn my AC back on, so I'm fine with that. So, sorry everybody for the shorter session this week, but
But all of them have problems because their country doesn't use
But it's-
AC as commonly
Yeah.
as
the UK
yeah.
is apocalypse
backwards.
now right now.
Yeah. Scotland's like
but-
underwater.
Scotland's underwater. Like we're you know that film 2012? Yeah. So
Oh yes, the terrible one where the lava was moving just slow enough to keep up with the heroes.
What's in
and
my
then
head-
speed up
what's
when
in
they got
my
into a
head is
car,
like-
and then slow down when
What's
they
in
all
my
went
head
again.
is Brexit was just like snapping, was cutting a cord. Now it's like the UK's going back, so Scotland's gone underwater a little bit, and the bottom first start raised up, and it's got to settle first after it's been disconnected.
oh, dude. Yeah, that's what happens when you sever the Channel Tunnel.
Yeah, that thing was under a lot of tension.
Umbilical cord that sort of goes through the English Channel.
We'll see you guys. Hopefully it'll
Bye
be.
now.
Oh no. Yeah, next
Next week
is-
we're skipping.
Yeah, no,
Oh, we
no,
are?
it's-
Next week we're on, I think.
No,
Next
it's the
week we're
it's
on-
26th we skip. 26th we
Yeah,
skip.
20. So we got one more week before we can take a week off. So we will see you next week. Hopefully it's a bit cooler. Stay safe in the heat if you're in the UK and Europe, please. And other than that, have a lovely week. And we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 All right.